is he able to waltz into Lumios and like do all this stuff? And yet, like, it's it's so weirdly forced, and it just feels as if like the game really needs to think more about what it wants to do going forward. I personally just felt very much invested in the city and the ideas of what was happening, and yet like the reality of it all was that like I wasn't a huge fan of X and Y to begin with. So all of these callbacks to those games, all the random characters they decided to use again, like what they decided to do with like Lysandre and stuff like that. I kind of realized when I was going through this game's plot, if you assume that this game is canon to X and Y, that means canonically that Zygarde could not have been captured by the X and Y protagonist because Zygarde is like an essential part of the plot. And that just creates this weird feeling of just like this weird contrast that like we know for a fact that Zygarde was not captured by the protagonist of X and Y. So it just creates this weird kind of like feeling of just like, well, is the X and Y protagonist not that good of a traitor then? Like why has he not captured this thing? It's like it's to me it's really interesting kind of thinking about these problems. It's kind of thinking about like it's kind of interesting seeing how obviously influenced this was by like a Dragon in particular, the Yakuza games. Like how it's trying to like do the same kind of thing, even having like a similar kind of character with Kerbo, who is my literally me character, by the way. I am I am conflicted about this game because there's so much to like about it, and yet at the same time, I'm very frustrated with how it's set up.